Welcome to another episode of What Else You Got with Mitch and Margot. I'm Mitch, she's Margot, and what else you got for us today?
Hey, Mitch. How you doing?
Good.
I feel like I haven't talked to you in a hot minute. It's good to see you.
Well, it's been a minute, but yes.
Yeah. Hey, I've got a really important question for you today.
Okay.
Okay, this one requires a book. And this one really, honestly, requires some audience participation. So, our audience can participate with us if they'd like to. So, first step is reach out and pick up a book that is near you. Don't think about it too hard. That does not look like a book. This looks like a book.
It's got books in it.
That looks like a black tablet. What is it?
It's a Kindle. It's a Kindle with books in
Oh.
it.
Okay, well, since a Kindle has a ton of books in it, and I only need you to have one book, how about you, without thinking about it too much, and anybody in the audience who is grabbing a Kindle, I want you to open it up and go to the library where it shows you a whole bunch of books, and then tap on the third book. Whatever the third book is, tap on it.
Third book.
Yep. Tap on it.
A book I haven't finished.
Just tap on it.
Okay, I tapped.
Okay, now look at me. Don't look at the book. Look at me. Give me a number between 1 and 74.
63.
What'd you say?
63.
63. Okay. Now, ask me to give you a number between
All right.
1 and 5. Ask me to... Well, that's not... Okay, you chose 63. I'm choosing 3. Okay? So, turn to page 63 and go down to the third full paragraph. Oh, gee, I need glasses. Page 63.
I at least bookmark this before I lose my spot.
63. Are you there?
Now I'm trying to figure out how to bookmark this page before I...
just use a pen and pencil like the people in the olden days did.
Okay. That requires me to find a pen that actually works, because digital pen doesn't do anything.
Oh my goodness.
And I happen to have a pad of paper. Alright. 63. Let's see if I can
Page
find
63. Are you there yet?
Not yet. Need to figure out.
I know you're just trying to be kind, so all of our viewing, listening audience can also turn to page 63. Are you there yet? Are you there yet? Are you there yet?
It's a little harder to. It's a little harder to flip pages on this thing.
Are you there yet?
I'm 2 pages away.
Page 63.
Right. Third paragraph.
Third paragraph. You there?
Yes.
Read me the first sentence.
Audre Lorde. Where I dare to be powerful, to use my strength in the service of my vision, then it becomes less and less important whether I am afraid.
That's one sentence?
Yeah, it's a long one.
Read it again. It was interesting.
Audre Lorde. When I dare to be powerful, to use my strength in the service of my vision, then it becomes less and less important whether I am afraid.
That's pretty good. That's really good. We could just talk about that. Do you want? So don't lose that. That was really good. We need to talk about that. Don't lose it.
Okay.
So the first sentence from my third paragraph. 1, 2, 3. He left without saying goodbye to the crystal merchant. Your sentence was definitely more interesting.
I can tell yours comes from a fantasy book.
Have you read this?
No.
I would not call it a fantasy. Yeah. He left without saying goodbye to the crystal merchant.
All right, I
Um,
guess fantasy is not
we
the right word.
we could
Fiction.
talk.
That's the word I wanted.
We could talk about mine for a minute. Do you ever leave without saying goodbye?
Yeah.
Why? Why would you leave anywhere without saying goodbye to someone?
So since yours was in regard to a crystal merchant, when you're leaving a store, do you say goodbye to the store clerk? If it's like Walmart, generally not. Do you say goodbye when you're leaving Radio Shack, which Radio Shack doesn't really exist anymore? Not really. But if you are leaving a store of a friend, then yeah, you'll probably say bye to your friend as you're walking out the door.
I'm not sure I agree 100%. Uh, I think if I'm in a friendly mood, I say goodbye to people. Goodbye. Have a great day. Thanks for helping me. It was great to see you. Hope your day goes well. Bye. But if if I did not enjoy engaging with them, I might try to find a convenient way to slip out without any further engagement.
Yeah. Otherwise, leaving a family's house, you're probably going to say bye. If you're leaving a friend's house, you're probably going to say bye. If you're leaving a party, you're probably not going to say bye.
So for me, I think it depends upon the level of engagement I want to have. And frankly, the level of engagement I want to have in the future. Because if it's somebody that I don't feel a need to engage with them in the future, or maybe even hopefully avoid engagement with them in the future, I might try to slip out without saying goodbye because I just don't want to prolong it. But if it's somebody that I hope to engage with in the future, if it's a store I go to often, and I hope that next time they're going to give me as great a service as they gave me this time, I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to continue that engagement. So I think it's true whether you're a store merchant or a person at a party.
Yeah, and I think what you're saying, where what level of engagement or relationship you want, because like I did an event earlier today, and I said bye to the host of the event, just because I'm going. It was a decent enough event where I'd like to be invited back, and so it's one of those that say, "Hey, thanks." Now, last week I did a different event, and it was a full blown expo, and I didn't really talk to the event host. Technically, they talked to me like an hour before I left, and so I'm going. Technically, I acknowledged them, but I also didn't actively reach out as I was leaving.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah. Let's talk about your sentence. That was pretty interesting. Can you read it again?
So, yeah, I have no context on it besides what I'm reading. Uh, Audre Lorde. When I dare to be powerful, I use my strength in the service of my vision. Then it becomes less and less important whether I am afraid.
So, when I dared to be powerful, I used my strength. What was the next
Present
part?
tense, not past tense. I use my strength in the service of my vision. Then it becomes less and less important whether I'm afraid.
Okay. So, you use your strength in the service of your goal, your mission, and then it matters less and less if you're afraid. So, you identify what your strengths are and find a way to utilize your strengths to help you move toward your goal. And then you become less and less afraid with the necessary steps in that direction. Because you're focused on your strength instead of your fear of the unknown.
Yeah, I find this is actually pretty good for what I've been doing recently. I've been in the process of changing job fields, and it's one of those that technically it's a sales role, and I suck at sales, but because of the way I'm approaching it, I'm leaning into my strengths. Where yes, I'm completely scared spitless on how I am going to do in it, but it's one of those that because I'm using my flavor, I'm able to build my strength into how I'm attempting to do these sales. And it's one of those that I'm not straight cold calling because cold calling sucks and I don't like cold contacting. So I'm great at when people approach me and I'm great in a warm engagement. And so I've shifted my sales approach to having people approach me, which is why I've been at events and expos, and also where I uh, try to get referrals from people where they can introduce me. That way I'm not cold contacting, and it's a nice warm engagement. And then from there, I'm able to leverage into some of my other strengths. And yes, I'm afraid of, afraid's not really the right word, but fearful's not either. It's one of those that I'm timid.
Trepidatious.
Trepidatious is good. I was going to go with timid because I think timid's more where I'm shy to the approach of I don't want to approach it, but at the same time, it's one of those that as I lean into those strengths, I'm able to engage and not have that fear.
I'm asking our friend.
Well, if it's trepidatious, I actually looked up.
You have to know how
Or
to
is
spell if you want
trepidatious?
to find out. Okay, timid is showing a lack of courage. See, I don't think you're being timid because timid is showing a lack of courage. Um, Easily frightened. I don't think you're timid. Trepidation,
Is there a different timid?
maybe.
Uh,
Trepidation
is the fear of something that is
oh,
going to happen bad, which I actually looked up that definition last week because I'm going, I think that I'm using it correctly. And it's the underlying fear that something bad's going
oh.
to happen, or
Yeah,
it's the
trepidations is
anxiety of it.
too big of a word. It's a feeling of alarm or dread. But apprehension, see, okay, it was the apprehension um, that I was thinking about. When I said trepidation, I was thinking about the apprehension and feeling fearful of the expectation.
Yeah, and that's where the timid part, where the shyness of engaging is technically the lack of courage, but once you suck it up and step forward, technically the timid drops by definition of the word, even though you are still timid on the inside, but it's you're jumping into it, which is where um, it. I guess it's not in this. I was thinking of another quote before this of just do it, jumping into it, jump feet first. You're either going to succeed or you're going to fail, and you don't let the timidness, you won't let the fear stop you. You're at least going to try until something else stops you.
Yeah. So I'm curious to know what's the name of the book that you got that quote out of?
This one, because you asked me to just jump straight into
Yep,
it,
I did.
it's Burnout: The Secret of Unlocking the Stress Cycle.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Who wrote that?
Let me. Emily Nagasaki. It's a poor contrast on a black and white screen.
That sounds like a good
Yeah,
book. I'm impressed by that quote. I love it.
yeah.
What else you got,
I uh,
Mitch?
I was just gonna say I started the book, haven't quite made it through it because I got distracted and I've read other books, which that's always the fun thing. Having a book regularly helps. Here's the question for you.
Hmm.
So, how did you come upon this concept for this discussion?
Because in a former career, I used to be a writer, and it was a really common and great writing prompt to grab the book closest to you and flip to a page, flip to a paragraph, even flip to a specific word, and then use that word as a prompt to then go and revise a passage or start a new passage. And so it's an idea to help break through writer's block, which writer's block is, I don't think writer's block is really a thing. It's just a lack of motivation. You just have to do the work.
Motivation and creativity, which one feeds the other, and which just goes back to just do it, just jump in, start doing
It
something,
Oh,
which is
yeah,
what you're
exactly what you
talking
just
about.
said. Yeah, just do it because writers actually, yeah, it absolutely is a very similar concept because writer's block, people use it as an excuse to not move forward, and what you were talking about is just do it, just jump in, just do it. And so this is just a technique to get you to jump in. So if you the idea of stop overthinking it. Stop overthinking the project you're working on or the revision you're doing. And by flipping to a random page and pointing at a random word and telling yourself, I'm going to use this concept or this word to jump in and move forward, it's just, it's a method, it's a skill, it's a tool.
Yeah, and I definitely like that where you do something adjacent to what you're trying to do. Because if you're trying, in the instance of you're writing your own story, you're writing your own book, if you do an adjacent thing where it's might not relate to your thing, but doing that exercise, you uh, springboard your way forward. Where then once you're done with that exercise, you should already be able to transition back to your main prompt.
And I think you brought that topic up in a previous podcast. I think it was when we were talking about procrastination. And I think you had talked about how if you do something adjacent to the task you're procrastinating, that you might be able to then sidestep into the task that you need to get done.
Yeah, I'm glad you remember the podcast because I've got a lot of things in my head, and I'll have to go look that one up. But I think that sounds right.
Yeah,
But
sometimes you say really smart things. Who knew?
sometimes, yeah, going back a little bit with the adjacent topic and the just do it part. Sometimes, even though you might be claiming writer's block, you actually might be mulling it over in your heads to solve the problem that you're actually at. Where yes, it could be a different definition of writer's block, but you're trying to solve the path that you're going down. Because I know when we were talking about a couple of the books you've written, sometimes you go down a path, you just start writing, you go, oh, yeah, I didn't want the story to go that path. And then you either have to figure out where it diverged, or you get to that diverge point and you need to think through what the story is going to be before you choose and commit to that path. So sometimes, even though you're procrastinating or writer's block, the thing that you're staring at, because like I've got a couple projects that I stare at them, I haven't done anything with them. Yes, I can action on them, but there's a detail that I haven't solved. So I wait, and yes, I can just start fidgeting, but sometimes the waiting, you'll eventually find the solution somewhere else to apply it. But the key is don't take too long waiting.
I actually do that at work. I will, the word I like is percolate. Somebody will come to me wanting me to give a quick answer or produce a quick product, and I will respond with, I need a minute to let that percolate. I will get back to you, because I'm not procrastinating. I need to use your words, mull it over. I need to let it percolate in my brain. So while I'm working on other things, it's kind of in the background of my brain. And then I'll kind of have that aha moment, or that switch will flip, and I'll be like, yes, this is how I want to do that. This is the way I want to go. And then I'm able to produce it much quicker than if I had forced myself to sit down right at the prompt. So I think mulling it over, letting it percolate, process it for a period, how, short period, whatever.
Which, which that's actually adds a kind of interesting deviating thought of when is a good time to make the decision, because there's some decisions that you can tell in the exact instance left or right. There's the ones that you need 5 minutes, there's the ones that you need an hour, there's the ones that you need to sleep on it, and generally beyond that you don't really need it, but sometimes you need a week to double check all the details. But it really just comes down to there is a magic realm for you to mull it over, because granted, if you say I need to sleep on it, what are you really going to be doing? You're going to go home, you're going to have dinner, you're going to sit down, watch TV, spend time with family, and go to bed. And the next day, make your 5 minute decision, which is
But
just one of
the
those.
next but the next day you're coming at it with fresh eyes.
Yeah.
Maybe
And
you showered the next day and you cleaned out your hair follicles. I don't know if that's even possible, but maybe just coming at something with fresh eyes, clean laundry on your back, it it activates a different part of your brain, and you're able to come at it from a different angle.
yeah. And it definitely uh, depends on what level decision, because if it's a low impact, if you got it wrong, 5 minutes or instantaneous, yeah, that's fine. But if it has medium impact, it should be beyond 5 minutes. If it has large impact, you're probably pushing upwards of a month if it's a big enough impact. But it really just comes down to, sometimes you can make the decision split second for a large impact because it's obvious, but other times you spend too long doing something that should have been an instantaneous choice.
Yes. Yes, I agree. It's very possible to overthink a simple question that has very low impact. And I agree with you. Things that are going to have a larger impact, if you don't have the experience and the knowledge, then you should be a little more thoughtful in the decision making process. But you mentioned sometimes you make quick decisions on something that has a large impact. Well, if you have the experience and the knowledge already under your belt, then you should be able to pop out those quick answers on more significant, higher impact projects or products. So it there's a lot of variables.
Yeah, because one thought that came to mind is, you walk into the grocery store and do you want the tomato soup that is, I don't remember all the numbers. Let's go with the dollar, or do you want the one that's $1.05, or do you want the one that's 98 cents? Well, there's that should be a rather quick decision, but it really boils down to, you know what your budget is, you know the quality of what you're looking at, and you know what you're trying to use it for. Because if you're using it to hose down your dog, you're probably going to go absolute cheapest. If you're going for, I need to feed my family for the most, you might go for the volume, which it might be the larger can at the higher price, or you'd be looking for the correct blend of stuff. But it goes with, you already know what you're looking for, or you know loosely the parameters. Because on the other hand, if you're purely on cost, it doesn't really matter which of those three cans you grab, because if you're making enough money, it will cost you more in your time to figure out which can's cheaper versus just grabbing the can that looks good.
What else you got, Mitch?
I think that might be it for this one.
This
Do you
was
got
kind
anything
of a
else?
hodgepodge of topics today, but I look forward to seeing you on the next podcast, and maybe we'll both have showered and washed our hair.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Yeah.
So, like, comment, subscribe, follow up, and that's been another episode of What Else You Got with Mitch and Marco, and we'll see you on the next one.